I'm David Fleming from the Disciples Ignited YouTube channel, where we are focused on Jesus, advancing his kingdom and preparing his disciples. Now we're studying the book of Romans, and this week we're going to be in Romans chapter 5, and we're going to be concentrating on the 6th verse. Let me read that to you now. Romans chapter 5, verse 6. You see, at just the right time, when we were still powerless, Christ died for the ungodly. Now, what we want to concentrate on this week is on that little phrase, at just the right time. Did you realize that God has appointed times for doing what he does? Divinely appointed times emphasize the Lord's purpose, his plan, and activity in bringing his will to pass. Now, there's two words in the New Testament, two Greek words that emphasize two dimensions of time. First, there is chronos. Now, chronos usually refers to the chronological measurement of time. We find that in Acts chapter 14, verse 28, where we read, "And they stayed there a long time with the disciples," giving us a sense that the writer of Acts is talking about a measurement, a chronological measurement of time. But then there is another Greek word, and that is kairos, which usually refers to a spiritual significance of an era, a season. Let me give you two examples. Mark chapter 1:15 gives us this Greek word, kairos. The time has come, he said, the kingdom of God has come near. Now, he's not talking about a measurement of time. He's using kairos, speaking of a specific significance of an era. Something's happening. He said, the time has come. And he also uses kairos in Luke chapter 19, verse 44, where we read, "You did not recognize the time, the kairos of God's coming to you," speaking once again of a spiritual significance of an era. Now, the Greek word that is used more often than not for divinely appointed times is, you've got it, kairos, which especially is used when God is talking about a specific mission at a specific time. That's what we're reading about in Acts chapter 17, verse 26. Let me read that to you. "From one man he made the nations, that they should inhabit the whole earth. And he marked out their appointed times," kairos, "in history and the boundaries of their lands." Now, so we see that kairos, when it's used in the New Testament, the Lord is emphasizing something specific of a spiritual nature is being ushered in. Did you realize that Jesus' life was full of kairos moments? Like what we read in John chapter 7, verse 6. "Therefore Jesus told them, my time, my kairos, is not yet here. For you, any time will do." He was saying, listen, guys, God's a divinely appointed time for me is not yet right now. For you, any time it's going to do. That's what we read about in Romans chapter 5, verse 6, where we once again have this word, kairos, where the Lord is emphasizing that something spiritually significant is happening right now. Let me read that to you again. You see, at just the right time, when we were still powerless, Christ died for the ungodly. So that's what we're going to be studying about this week, God's appointed times. So join with me.